इंडिया ऐसा कुछ है. So in the sphere of politics, what are the things happening in the country? Let us see.
सर इंडियन पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम जो है
हाँ, वो पेपर 3 है शायद आपका.
हाँ सर.
तो आज अभी पेपर 2 करते हैं.
ठीक है.
सेकंड पेपर पॉलिटिक्स इन इंडिया.
ठीक है सर.
Okay, welcome back to Mata Sundur Open University. This is MA Political Science program. I'm your faculty, Panthor Devarma, assistant professor. This is my contact. If you have any doubt and queries, you can reach me out, and this is my email. So today's session, we are going to do politics in India. That means what kind of politics are happening in the ground level, real politics, which party is winning, and what kind of demands are there in politics, how government is handling the situations in society, okay, how things are going on in the ground level. Okay, what kind of things are happening, which party is winning, and what coalition politics, how regional parties are gaining importance in today's generation, or what kind of policies also.
ब्लॉक 1 सॉरी सर ब्लॉक 1 तो हो गए थे ना, अब तो ब्लॉक 2.
Yes, we are doing the block 2 right now. Units 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. No? Block 2 is development of state politics, right? So this is the second session. State politics, जो राज्य है like त्रिपुरा, Assam, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, these are all state Rajya. So how the politics have evolved since the independence, since 1947, how the politics have evolved in all these states, we'll be having a discussion on that. Objective, we are going to understand state politics, parties, election, and development in India. Okay, what kind of, how the states, how the people are responding to politics, are they more, converted towards the central party, or are they mostly confined to regional party? Which party, how, what kind of parties, how do they mobilize the population for votes, and how elections are conducted, and how things are going on for development in the country, all these things, how parties and coalitions help governance. Okay. So what we see today in today's reality of Indian politics is that it is mostly shaped by the coalition. There is always partnership between the different political parties. That has been the reality of politics in today's politics. So that one we can see how caste, region, and identity influence voting in politics. Okay, so this is a major observation. One more, what we show in the country is that the people, when they give vote, they only give vote to the people who are from their own caste, who are from their own region, and who have the same identity as them. Okay, religion, caste, okay, name, surname, all these things people take in consideration before voting. Because you also, when you go to vote, you will first think whether this person is from my community, from my caste, from my religion, then only you vote. So this kind of things have been seen in India. Identify key development issue and regional imbalances. So everybody know that everybody want to develop. Even we, as a person, I want to develop myself. You also, you want to develop yourself. You want to go higher level. Same in a country also. The India as a country, but the whole world, everybody is trying to develop themselves. People are building machine. People are building industry. People are building car, technology. Going to space, going to Mars, going to moon. All these things are all part of our development. So India also as a country, we are considered as developing country. We have not fully developed yet. Like unlike the Western countries, they are considered as developed countries like Europe, America, because you develop in the sense is when the population is able to make enough money, enough food, enough clothing, enough shelter, enough education, enough healthcare. All these things, when you take into consideration, are the metrics to identify whether the country is developed or not. Happiness index, freedom of press, all these things are part of our developed country characteristic. So India also is on this way developing. We are still on the process. We have not become fully developed. And regional imbalances. Some regions are quite developed. Some regions are lagging behind. Uh, if you compare the northeast region with Mumbai, you will see a lot of difference, isn't it? Because that Mumbai is developed so well, but if you see the northeast region, we are the region is lagging behind. So this is called regional imbalance. Some region in the country is developed, maybe Delhi, Karnataka, those places are quite developed. But if you see the uh, other place, some are not developed. So this is called regional imbalance. Access major reform to improve democracy and development. So what are the things that we need to do to develop democracy and how to develop the country? All these things we'll see. Okay, state politics, coalition politics, caste, religion, regional imbalance, development issue, and democracy and development. So, nature of Indian diversity and nationalist response. So, in India, we know we have a different culture, different language, different caste, or different so many things in India. It's called diversity. Caste and internationally consumer Ambedkar demanded. So caste is a very important reason. We know what is that? Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. This caste system is very much common in India. So it has become a political problem because people only vote based on their caste. We do not see how much development is being done, but we see that whether the leader is from our caste or not. So in the history, what happens is that first thing who pointed out was that Ambedkar. Where Ambedkar was one of the first person who talked about that separate caste should be given separate reservation for election, separate electorate. So that thing it was first given by him. There are many other popular people who have talked about this. Liberals, Nehru versus traditionalists, Gandhi, radical critics versus Gandhi. Okay. Jawaharlal Nehru, for example, he was a liberal. That means free and open uh, way of thinking. Liberals are those people who are open to any change or open to any new character or new anything in the society. They are open people. Traditional means we want to be our own tradition. I don't want to bring any change. I am happy with what I have. I don't want to change my culture. I'm an Indian. I want to wear my dhoti and these things. I don't want to wear Western clothes. So that's called tradition. But radical Ambedkar and Periyar, they want to bring changes in society. Okay? Like he also demanded several election for the different caste. So these are three group of people. They have three different opinion. Liberal is different, traditional different, and radical different. Okay, so these are three different approaches in this unit. Nationalists theoretically rejected caste yet used caste-based social boycotts in non-cooperation movement. So what happened in the history? We are going back to the history during the when we were under the British rule, when non-cooperation movement was launched in 2019, 20 or 1922. Uh, those who were engaged in that protest, non-cooperation, that means we are not cooperating with the British government. They said that caste is not good, but actually they use caste system so that to function against the British. Okay, so we can see from here that people may say that they don't like the caste system, but eventually they use it somehow for themselves. That I'm this caste, they are this caste, they are this caste system. Okay, so that's what we have seen. People may think that they reject it, the caste system, but actually people are using it. So to remove this caste problem in India, just see the example here. The Brahmin, he is responsible for puja, part and reading. The Kshatriya, he is the military. Vaishya are the businessmen, and Shudra are the pot makers. So this kind of distribution is there in the society, and it has been accepted that this is not a good system. If you see, you are dividing people based on caste, somebody is low, somebody is high. It is actually not a good sign of society. So what our constitution संविधान क्या क्या है कि obviously we don't want discrimination. We want all the humans to be treated equally. So Article 15, 17, and 19 they have made that these things should not be there. Under Article 15 of the Indian Constitution, SC, OBC reservation is given in government job to help these lower caste people also to compete with the upper caste people. Article 17, it is the ban of untouchability, okay, and Article 19 is the freedom of any profession. So all these things are part of our history about the caste system and what the Constitution has given about the caste system. So let us see a video of caste system.
छुआछूत का असर तो देखिए। डॉक्टर बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर के बचपन की बात है। नाई उनकी हजामत भी नहीं बनाते थे। उनके बाल उनकी बुआ ही काटती थी। स्कूल में उन्हें सबके साथ नहीं बिठाया जाता था। उन्हें सबसे दूर अलग बैठना होता था। उन्हें बैठने के लिए टाट भी स्वयं घर से ही ले जाना होता था। और फिर स्कूल के अन्य छात्रों के साथ खेलना तो बहुत दूर की बात है। स्कूल में जब कभी उन्हें प्यास लगती थी तो कोई सवर्ण छात्र दूर से ही उनके हाथ में पानी डाल दिया करता था या फिर नल के नीचे उल्टा मुंह करके उन्हें अपनी प्यास बुझानी पड़ती थी या फिर कभी कभी सारा का सारा दिन बस प्यासे ही रह जाना पड़ता था। ऐसी ही प्यास बुझाने एक दिन भीमराव ने सार्वजनिक नल से पानी पीने की कोशिश की। तब सवर्णों ने उनकी सरेआम पिटाई की। बचपन में बालक भीम अक्सर देखा करते थे कि दुकानदार उनकी मां के सामने कपड़े फेंक कर दिया करता है। अस्पृश्यता, सामाजिक भेदभाव, पवित्रता और अपवित्रता के आधार पर होने वाला अपमान, इसके घाव भीम के हृदय में गहराई करते थे और डॉक्टर बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर इस विषमतावादी व्यवस्था के घोर शत्रु बन गए।
So you have seen an example of this caste system, okay? Like B.R. Ambedkar was a victim when he went to school. He was not allowed to sit with the other people because he was considered as the untouchable or the lower caste. So he was not allowed to drink the water from the common well or the filter of the. So somebody else had to give the water to him. He cannot take by himself. So this kind of things are not good in the society. So there is an example of what happened. There is about caste now, religious and communalism. Religion, let's go to the religion part in the country. What is happening religiously and religious politics? So Tilak Mesopotamia approach and Hindu unification effort less communal tension. So there was a very important leader called Bal Gangadhar Tilak. If you know him in Indian history, if you read, you will know about him. Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Okay, he used some method against the British rule. He used like celebration of Hindu festival. Okay? He used to celebrate Hindu festival to unite the people against the British. So because of that Ganpati, some festivals and all, he used to celebrate, and this region has caused actually communal tension. Okay, it is seen that because of that approach that he used to celebrate here and there, the other communities they start to have some conflict with other religions, I mean, okay. So Tilak's approach was one of the reasons. Gandhi inclusivity. Okay, drew from multiple sources, emphasized non-violence to prevent aggressive nationalism. So there is about Tilak, but next is Gandhiji. Okay, Gandhiji, he accepted all the religion. Okay, he accepted all the religion, and at the end he gave some conclusion by combining all these ideas that we should be non-violent and prevent aggressive nationalism. Yes, you can love your country, but by loving your country doesn't mean you should hate another country and you should start attacking another country. No. Okay, yeah, you can love your country, nationalism, I love my motherland, but that doesn't mean to protect your motherland, you will go and attack somebody else. That Gandhiji did not advise. Okay, he always talk about religion, yes, all religion can be accepted, but we should at the end follow non-violence and not be aggressive nationalism. Nehru secularism. Jawaharlal Nehru, his idea was community is internally divided by class, language, and ideology. Okay, so he wanted to bring secularism in the country, which we have today, that a country should not have any national religion. Everybody is free to follow their own religion. So he said in community, there can be different kind of class, there can be different kind of language, and there can be different kind of ideology. So that's what Nehru talked about. Structural failures. Several lecturers in the Muslim League names formulas communal. So communal, what happened in India was that you can see in the example, there is some kind of hatred. One religion is hating another religion. So one group of religious people is hating another group of religious. So that kind of starting when it happened, Muslim League 1906 formalized. So during that time, the people demanded that separate reservation should be there for certain religion against the British government. So since that time, this hatred is started since 1906. Remember that. So this is about Hindus, Tilak and Gandhiji and Nehru, and since when this religious hatred started. So nature of Indian linguistic diversity and tribal livers. So let's see the history. We are talking about history, what are happening. Language. Let's go to language now. First we went to caste. Next we went to religion. Now let's come to the language. So Hindu imposition resistance with English retained for 15 years. Linguistics established by 1950. So before what we have seen is that the central government is trying to impose Hindi language to the South Indian people. It was not accepted by them because how people say, I have my own language, I don't need to follow your language. Okay, you don't need to give me any language to speak. I have my own language, I will speak my language. So that problem is still there. So all the states, all the new states, they are being created are based on the language. Like Andhra Pradesh was the first linguistic state in, I think, 1956. And Telangana, it was also given in the 2014. It is also based on the language. So all these states, we have how many states? 28 states, okay, in India. All these are mostly based on the language. Okay? एक state का एक language. Language की basis पे ही states को बांटा जाता है. Tribal movements, if you see Santhal 1855, Birsa Munda 1895 to 1900, Aluri Sitama Raju 1922 organized resistance to land grabbing. So all these things, it is your homework to learn about these people. What is Santhal revolt? What is Munda revolt? What is Aluri Sitama Raju? So you learn about these things, so it will help you in your knowledge gaining. Nationalist paternalism, tribal viewed as masses to be civilized rather than autonomous agent. So it is also another idea that the tribal population in the country has been seen somewhat as backward and denied education. Instead of seeing them that they are actually happy by themselves and they are doing what they want to do in their life. There is one kind of idea we can take that the tribal population has been seen as somebody which requires civilization, but it actually they have their own civilization and they are actually functioning naturally with the nature. Okay. So this is one more thing. Constitution for Article 59 answer for ST. So here we talk about language and tribes. Okay. So tribes, to protect the tribal people of the country, Article 15 they give reservation for education, reservation in the job. All these are given under Article 15. And 19 is same thing. Also, it's a freedom for the tribal population to do freedom of speech, expression, association, profession, movement. All these things are there in the Article 19, and these are the things about language and tribal population. So next, let's go to Unit 7, states in the constitutional scheme. What are the states in the country? So we know with India is a federal country. That means we have a central government and we have a state government, is it not? So under 7th schedule in the Indian Constitution, if you read, you will know there are 12 schedules. Okay, among the 12 schedules, if you go to the 7th schedule, you will see this figure: central list, concurrent list, and state list. See, central government can make law on central government See, central government, they have power to make law on defense. India को defense में क्या क्या चाहिए? Banking, currency, foreign affairs, and communication. All these things are handled by the central government. State government handle police, trade, business, agriculture, and irrigation. So these are different central government का काम और state government का काम. And education is both sides can do. Education, forest, trade, marriage, adoption, and succession. दोनों ही कर सकते हैं, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट भी और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट भी. They can make law on this, and this is the distribution of power between the central government and the state government. So states means Rajya, how it is functioning. So you know, this is how it is functioning. Power is divided between the central government and the state government. But what we have seen, the union is given more important power, because defense, banking, currency, foreign affairs, these are the most important topics of to make laws. So center is given more power than the state government. That's how we can see here. Constitutional centralization under Article 22, 49, 250, 252, 356, grant external power to the central government. So this another thing we know. Emergency provisions are there in the country. Okay, central government can give emergency in the country. Financial emergency or war emergency, these things. Indira Gandhi was the most example that emergency was there in the country. During the emergency, states will not have power, the central government will control everything. Article 3, authority parliament can create, rename, organize state with a dual consent system. Okay, so this is the thing. The union has the power to change the state anytime, to rename the state anytime. So central government has the power. So these are the things about the state. What is the state rule and what is the union relationship? So executive relation and governor decision. So in the state we have governor. Okay, so governor is appointed by president. So we have a governor in every state. Okay, governor is appointed by the president and they look over the functioning of the state. So governor is like a agent of the central government. Central government का agent है governor. So reserve powers, government can overrule legislation. So whatever the law are being made, जो भी law state government बनाएंगे, वो governor का approval चाहिए. If the governor does not approve, state government cannot make the law. So governor is a powerful here. You can see that. Administrative integration, IAS control centrally, but assigned to states, centralized military control. So those are the IAS, Indian Administrative Service, those are IPS, Indian Police Service. They are given to the states. Isn't it? वो states में आके काम करता है. लेकिन the appointment is done by the UPSC, Union Public Service Commission. It is appointed by the central government. So you can see the big officer are actually from the central government. So center is actually controlling the state. You can see. Judicial officer S.R. Bumai case. In S.R. Bumai case, 1993 governor reports now limits arbitrary federal intervention. Okay. So in the S.R. Bumai case, 1993 case, what है S.R. Bumai के नाम पे? So what did they say is that yes, governor can stop the functioning or the lawmaking. He can delay the lawmaking of the state, but it can be reviewed by the judiciary whether the governor action is good or bad. So as we think, governor also cannot become too much powerful. Judiciary will come and check whether the governor is functioning in the proper manner or not. So this is the thing we learn about states, about executive relation and governor. What kind of roles the governor have and how the union is controlling the states. Next, financial status and conflict resolution. How finance are being managed in the country. So there is a group, there is a committee called Finance Commission in the India. So the commission will actually recommend the central government how much money should be given to the state, because state alone is not sufficient. They need funding from the central government, especially the Northeast region. The Northeast region is getting more than 90% of the money spent by the Northeast region is sent from the central government. So remember that. So what we learn from here is that the states in the country are dependent on the central government. Article 131, Supreme Court organs resolution over union state and interstate dispute. So yes, if there is a problem, there is a fighting. It is a common to see that state and state they used to fight sometimes due to border. Like example, Assam, Meghalaya they used to have, and Assam and Nagaland they used to have border. Even in the Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, I think there is a dispute about the river. So there can be a problem between two states. So who will solve that problem? Supreme Court will solve that problem under Article 131 of the Indian Constitution. Okay? Interstate Council, so there are 263 resolve dispute on river water development policy coordination and mutual interest. So if there is a problem between two states, since this block two is talking about states in the India, so we are all talking about the states. What kind of role? What kind of states? What is the role of the state? What kind of relationship of the state with another state? So interstate council also there, Article 263. There is to be river water dispute, then they will solve the problem between the state. Politics of right, coalition government, reduce central intervention, same party law enables smoother reorganization. So what we have now is the coalition government. Okay, nowadays all the government are formed by group or by by partnership. The government is formed by partnership. So nowadays central government so same party, state government so same party. So there is a smooth coordination. We can see there is no much problem. But if there is different party in the state and different party in the system center, there is a problem. But now we can see it is smooth. So this is the talk about financial, how finance are being managed, and if there is a conflict, how it is resolved. Okay. Next, colonial territorial arrangement. See, during the British period, these all were the British. There was no perfect India. There was no Pakistan. There was no Bangladesh. Okay, it is all part of the British. Before 1947, it was like this. So let's go back to the history. Okay, state system कैसे आया? How did the state system come? There were three main center of state in India during the British period: Madras, Bombay. Okay, Madras, okay, Mumbai and West Bengal. These three are the most important center of administration during the British period. Okay, so there one you remember in the history. Centralized Governor General 1973 inherited all civil decentralized began management morphing into reforms. So actually during this period there was no decentralization. Power was centralized. In which place? In the West Bengal. The Governor General of West Bengal was controlling the whole area. So remember that we are talking about the history during the British period who was ruling. Okay. So during the British period we have three main centers: Madras, Chennai, Mumbai and West Bengal. The West Bengal, who is the Governor General of West Bengal is controlling the whole country. We can say that. So this is called centralization of power. Decentralization means power division. Okay, giving power to the different regions of the place. So only after 1909, okay, with the Morley-Minto reform, decentralization has started to take place. That means power has been distributed. Before that, power was not distributed. Provincial autonomy. Government of Indian Act 1935 formally established provincial autonomy through hierarchy system. Fragmented structure. Chief commissioners administer backward areas, political agents manage princely state without direct authority. So provincial autonomy, okay, those were the little bit power has been given to the state through the 1935 Government of India Act. Okay, so before that it was all one. It is a one British India. There was no such thing as a state. Only after 1935 they started giving little power to the state. Now the states are quite States can take their own decision, not always have to be dependent on the center also. So that is called provincial autonomy. Autonomy means independence. Chief Commissioner administer a political the managed without direct authority. Okay, so those who are the called a Chief Commissioner in the British rule, they are actually controlling, no need to direct British authority. So that is the history about British India, the British India में how it was functioning in the country. Post independence, after independence, India 4 types ABCD states banaya. Like, it is not there now, but after independence, they made that kind of system, but it's not there now. Replace colonial provincial merge Prince states with British territories. Okay, so wherever required, they merge the states during the after the independence. Linguistic state, as we have discussed, the states are being created based on the language. After 1953, Andhra Pradesh was the first created. There was a person called Poti Siramalu. Okay, he was fasting. I think he fasted until he died for the demand of Andhra Pradesh state. So he got it. And state reorganization commission was held in 1955 to check and to verify and to make the state based on the language. So remember that if you get a question that states in the country of India are based on which line, then it is a language. No need religion, no need caste, but the states in India are based on the language. Remember that. And ethnic states are there: Nagaland, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, created for tribal community, Uttarakhand, Jharkhand, and Chhattisgarh. These are all based on the tribal. Okay, Naga people, Meghalaya means Khasi, mostly Mizoram means Mizo people, Arunachal means Arunachal people. So these are the states after 1963. It was based on the tribal population. Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Punjab, 1960 there is the following agitation for linguistic and regional autonomy. So these things also same based on linguistic and regional autonomy. So this is the history about state system. कैसे आया? पहले ABCD था. After that, Andhra Pradesh on the language, then tribal group. Okay, so this is how states are formed. So statehood demand and union state tension. Okay, nowadays even many states are demanding new states, as you can see. The states are not happy with the central government or the state government. They want separation. Bodoland, Gorkhaland, all these things are being demanded. Okay, because they are not happy with the land reform, not happy with green revolution, not happy with economic, and not happy with leadership. So still we can see that demand is there. Ideological conflict. Kerala separation, okay, 1959-69, our communists early Bombay case, 19 limited arbitrary state government, remember. Financial dispute, unequal resource allocation, while the state demand higher transfer, poor state needs subsidies, revenue imbalance. 42nd Amendment Act shifted education, forest, wildlife to concurrently expanded central emergency power, still demand. So what we can see here is that the states are still demanding for the in the more power, but the central government is not giving because central government want to control you. Like here in the 42nd Amendment Act, we know in the preamble socialist secular integrity were added. Okay, but also they also added that education and forest was before it was in the state lease, but now it is came to the concurrent lease in the 1976. Now the central government can control education and control the forest and wildlife. So this is the reason. So what from this slide we can conclude is that there is still a problem between the central government and the state government. State government are unhappy, so they want to be more independent. State politics and theoretical framework. Theoretically, if you see all the states reorganization, okay, started from 1956. You should remember that. Myron, when a 1960 seminar established field, okay. So there was a guy Myron. He in the seminar he talked about the states and its issue in the India. States evolved from subordinate to coalition partner. Okay. Before the states were seen as a small element of the central government, but now what we have seen is that they had become a state also become a partner of the central government. So that is the history. Key feature during 1950 to 1960, what happened? राज्य में क्या हुआ? Congress dominance was there in the state. Nehruvian model was everywhere in the state. Central government state implemented national policies. So the central government is actually controlling everything during that time. Isn't it? So during that time, Naga Mizo insurgency linguistic demands was there. Insurgency, we all know, underground groups are there, they demand. So still Naga and Mizo problem was there. In 1967 election, coalition government started coming after 1967. So before 1967, who was ruling the country? Then it will be Congress. After that only, they started losing in the 1967. And during that 1950 to 1960, people were demanding insurgency was going on in the country. So after that, after 1970, after 1960, Congress has declined and Indira Gandhi centralization was going on. Indira Gandhi was in the power and Congress was declining. Green revolution happened. That means huge agriculture growth happened. Regional leaders आ गए थे, Charan Singh, Devilal, they were the regional leaders coming up. Emergency, Janata Party, center state tension. So emergency हो गया था 1975 में, and center and state का problem, Janata Party started to come up, but the Janata Party and center state problem was going on. So this is what happening in the 1960s and 70s. Congress declined. Green revolution, agricultural growth was very high. In the rural area, Jats and Yadav, they were becoming the leader. Regional leader also came out, emergency happened and Congress was declining during that period. After 1980, what happened? Those are the Dalit. They have started to form a political party called BSP. Those are OBC, they are Janata Dal. Those are the farmer movement also happening. So these things were happening in the after 1980. In the Northeast region, Punjab, Jammu Kashmir, okay, they were demanding autonomy. And ruralization was also happening during that time. Okay. So 1980s में त्रिपुरा में भी था और होगा, नागालैंड मिजोरम में भी होगा, that autonomy demanding. Punjab also and Jammu Kashmir also. So those things were happening in that period. States compete for the original parties' rights. Okay. So the states are competing so that who can become more economically growth. And regional parties started to grow after the 1980. Samajwadi Party, DMK, Tamil Nadu, TDP also have been started to grow. So these things are happening during the 1980. So after last unit is election and electoral politics. Election क्या है? Election क्या है? So election ensure participation account. So only after we give election, we can say that we are in a democracy and I am choosing my own leader of the people, for the people, by the people, is it not? So democracy is important to know that I am choosing my own leader. So election is very important. It should be free and fair. There should not be cheating in the election. If there is cheating in the election, then there is no meaning of election. Election oversees president, parliament, and state election. Okay, election commission is there. That group organization, it is responsible for electing the president. It is responsible for electing the MP, and then whatever the state election happening, it is done by the Election Commission of India. Okay. So this is the things about election. Election is important. So these are things about the Indian Constitution. Under Article 324, it is mentioned that Chief Election Commission will be there and the members. This is just very important to remember. 324 article. If there is a question in any competitive exam, if they ask about which article is concerning about election, then you write 324. Okay. Chief Election Commission is there. He is the head. PN Session Strength and Enforcement 1990. This is just an event that happened. So process during the election, first nomination will happen. Campaigning, voting, and result. Nomination means those who are trying to fight in the election, they have to give their nomination paper to the SDM or the DM. After giving the nomination, they will go to the place, and they will start giving their speech and they will do campaign in this area. After that, voting, after that, result. So that is the election process. Symbol for electoral voters, slogans like Garibi Hatao. Okay. So that is why symbol is needed. You know, those who are not educated, those who are not able to remember the names and all, they will just vote by the symbol. That's why election has every symbol. And the political parties during the election, they use slogan, Garibi Hatao, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. These are all slogans given by the political parties to win the election. So let's see that some data, what is happening in the country, rising turnout. Before women were 46%. Now we can see that women have become 55% of the participant. That means we can see a turnout, women are participating nowadays. Regional parties was rising since 1999, 27 to 158 seats. Okay, regional parties are also rising, it means. So what are the things in India right now? Voting in the states means caste. People still vote based on the caste. If he's from a caste, I'll give him the vote. And religion, language, and region are also there. Okay, like DMK, Akali Dal. These are all political parties. They are all based on the religion, language, and region. So these are the things about the data. Okay, what is happening in the country based on the voting and election. So election, what are happening? Money, muscle power, vote capture, and black money. So still we can see there is still problem. Election में अभी भी थोड़ा problem है. पैसा से election खरीदता है, muscle power, गुंडागिरी, vote capturing and black money also they are using to win the election by giving people money. So these things problem are still there. So what we see that what should be done. So Tarkunde committee, Goswami committee was there, 1996 amendment. These are the things they try to make the election better. They brought out EVM campaign in finance rules and proportional representation debate. So these are the things you can learn: EVM campaign, influence rules, and proportional representation debate. These are the things that trying to bring change in the election system to make the election better. Conclusion, what we can say that in the country, religion and language diversity issues arising from them. Okay, so India is a very much diverse country. There is religion, there can be religious tension. One religion is hating another religion. Okay, there can be language problem. One language is trying to dominate other language, and based on the language, people are demanding new states. So these things are still common in the country. There's a relationship of central and state. So we need to remember what we have learned today, that there is a relationship of state and central government, like a couple, boyfriend, girlfriend. Okay. So sometimes he is angry, sometimes they are angry. So it goes on. There is a relationship is going on between the central government and the state government. The states in India have evolved from pre-independence time. Okay. So the states which we have now, it has been evolving since the British period, which we have also discussed. So it's keep on evolving, and we have evolved till now. Okay, so we'll keep on evolving in the future also. It keep on changing. So there's a thing about we learn about religion, language, central government and state government relationship. Then how the states have come, and we have to talk about the election process. Okay. So the states were mostly controlled by their Congress. After that, after Congress, regional leaders started to come, and due to emergency, Congress has lost its power. So that's what the things about the states. So thank you for joining. We have completed block 2. Then the next session, we'll do the block 3.